This is
We are in. This is Titan Tuesdays. We are back with Big Johnny over at Titan Medical, and we are opening this up to everybody for some in depth questions about optimizing. And this is not just what Johnny does, but what we do as a team. And I would like to talk about at some point that one of my team um, leaders here had a phone call with Titan Medical.
mm-hmm.
And again, we were clarifying the difference between Titan Medical and other companies, and it was again. Let me catch everybody up to speed right now. John is over in Florida. Titan Medical is the company that we have been with for a while here. That I wanted to personally be with somebody that's actually there to try to help people be healthy. That's what my belief in health and fitness is. It can make you a superhero for a lifetime if done correctly.
Absolutely.
Yes, I want to work with people that want to actually help. I would think that that's obvious, and that was the attempt for me and the team. But we did go down a road of thinking, like most things, that this kind of a company would always be about getting people healthy. Because if you get a person healthy, I know this is a little long-winded, but if you get a person healthy, they'll stay with you and continue to do
Absolutely.
that thing, especially a company like the Titan Medical. But we were with a company that was solely about profit and just cashing in. It was like one of those companies. Hey, we'll do this company. We'll go live for a couple of years and then sell it for tons. It's like, wow, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't see that part until I got in my feet in the building, in a sense. And so Jeff comes in today and he goes, hey, I had a call with Titan Medical. And he was prepared for the one of the first questions is how's your eating?
Mm-hmm.
But then the second question threw him because he goes, so how much water intake? And again, we haven't even got to what Titan Medical does, but what they're trying to find out is, can we get you healthy first on things for yourself? Explain that instead
Yeah.
of
So
what
I mean,
these other companies do.
sure. I mean, the first thing we want to do is we want to establish, how healthy is your lifestyle right now? Are you doing the right things that you should be doing that cost you, nothing from us at all? And these four pillars, is like call them, the essential pillars is nutrition. Do you have a good nutrition plan? Are you drinking water? Because this is vital for your life. 70% or over of your body is made up of water. So we want that too. Are you getting good sleep? And are you having activity? Are you exercising or doing anything that that's helping your body get to where it needs to be healthy, not to break down? So these are important things that we want to know. Our providers want to know this, right? They could care less about anything else at that point. They really want to know about you, how your lifestyle is right now, and say, hey, listen, are you doing the right things to start off? And if you're not, we want to add that in, right? And that's the biggest things I think, because yes, Titan Medical Center can help out with a million of different therapies. It can do a million different things in so many different ways, right? And so yes, we can change things just by therapies, but if you're not doing these essential things, the really easy things is what I call them, because they're very easy. If you do them, then you're only going to get half or three quarters of what you can get out of it, instead of really living a healthy lifestyle, because that's what Titan's about. The Titan lifestyle is about living a healthy lifestyle and having healthy habits, and then having the tools to help you get and reach these different goals possibly that you want to get with the therapies. So I think that's the biggest thing, and that's what we want to hone on first. We want to see exactly, gauge where you're at there, and then we go on with health history, family health history, then your goals and symptoms, and what we really want to try to achieve, and putting together a personal regimen for a patient to achieve those goals. And whatever it is, right? That might be more energy, that might be better in the bedroom, that might be able to put on lean muscle mass, might be losing weight, more mental clarity. And there's a number of different things. You want to just feel better, right? I mean, I'm getting over almost like 10 days of being sick myself, and definitely the therapy's helped me for sure to get better. But I mean, it's like, was I doing the right things when I was sick too? Eating, drinking water, like, yeah, of course, yeah. So I mean, I think, you know, that's the biggest thing for us. Like, we want to create a healthy lifestyle for a patient, and not just help them lose weight or, you know, help them gain lean mass. It's like, listen, we want the entire package, a whole enchilada for our patients. Because, you know, like you said, if you change a person's life for a positive like that, they will never forget you. They will trust you in what you want to do. But if you try to just hit home runs on them, you're just trying to put therapies on them, and that's it. They're not going to trust you. They're going to be like, well, what's this guy really, or what are they trying to really do here?
I have to stop you
So
for
I
a
think,
second because I wish that was true. I wish you made a statement going, they're not going to trust you. Unfortunately, this is the health and fitness world. They're going to trust this other company. They're going to go, hey, this is how the companies work. This is it. And that's why I'm here today to say that's not how it's supposed to work. In
right,
no world are you supposed to be able to call these people up and then say, hey, your quota is about, we can get you on these 20 things and it's going to cost you $10,000 a month. And I'm like,
right.
what did they do? Why would
Yeah.
they do that? What would be the point? You're 28 years old. That's when it just threw my mind. You're 28. You're on stage singing and touring, and you need to take 10,000. Oh my gosh, you're the pinnacle of health, and that's what you have to do from this company. Holy sheesh! What does the out of shape person have to do? And this person can
Wow.
financially afford that. And I'm like,
Yes.
what is going on? Holy, I need
Yes.
to check. I need to check a little deeper on this aspect of what's going on there, and then to come to find out. So I want you guys to know that's not how it should be. And going into the second stage of Jeff's conversation with Titan Medical was, all right, what would you like to do? Instead of here is your protocol of 20 things that you have to do. I'm like, wait a minute, holy cow. They asked you, they wanted your opinion on what you would like to. I would like to feel more energy. I'd like to be better in the bedroom.
Right.
Okay, here's a good, I know that's not what he said. You didn't say, no, I always say that. I always say that. But it's like, wow. What a difference. And I know that I've been here with Titan Medical for a bit and stuff, and I keep preaching this, but it's like, I will continue to preach my belief on health and fitness, or you're not going to get to be a 60-year-old man like me being able to do what I do. It's because it's the most minute changes that can help you. And that's what Titan Medical talks about. Let's baby step this forward. Let's see what we can do to regulate those numbers and make you healthy and go from there.
Right.
Instead of here's the kitchen sink. And I think
Right.
I posted something on my story last week, and it's a great one. I'll put it back up. It goes, I got all my peptides, and it was a scene from Shawshank, and it's like, what is all this? And it's like, I don't know, fuck stick. You ordered it all, and it's like when I got the peptides, and I'm in this business in the sense of I want the kitchens, I want everything, and so it's confusing to me. And so when you get this stuff, don't feel bad that you're confused on what to do. Call back, talk to Titan Medical.
Right.
I'm sorry. I know I'm talking a lot today. Sorry about that, but I just want them to understand.
Please.
For me, it isn't. You guys aren't out there trying to make a quota.
No.
You're trying to make people healthy.
I felt like
We're trying to do what's best for the patient.
You felt like you were actually getting help.
I felt like before when I talked to somebody at another company, I felt trapped in the call.
Oh wow!
I felt like every minute was an hour, and I was looking like, oh my god, how do I get out of this? Why are they doing this? Where Titan Medical, I felt like every second I was getting information, I was getting help, I was getting things that were going to help me make me better, and big emphasis on the word me, because that's what the call is centered around, which I thought was great. It was like, wow, I'm getting help from a professional like this, and it was multiple, and it was great. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what it's about. I mean, listen, we have medical assistants that are taking these calls from patients, whether you're a new patient trying to sign up or you're a reoccurring patient, right? And you might be calling back because you need some support in some way, or you just got your package of therapies in and you really don't know what to do first or how it's going to go about going. What should I inject or how much should I inject? Even though it might say on the vial or whatever, some people don't understand some of these different things. And that's what we're here for. We're here to educate patients too, not just throw these therapies at them, be like, just take this and don't ask me a question about it. This is what we said to do it. You know, understanding some of the different medications or therapies you're taking, so you have an understanding for yourself. That way, if somebody asks you, hey, listen, why are you taking BPC 157? I'm taking to heal, right? Or why am I taking, I don't know, testosterone, whatever it is. At that point, they can explain a little bit of why they're wanting to take it and what it's really going to do for them. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, you know, for us, it's all about support. You got to support the patients. I know a lot of companies out there, they ship out the packages and then you can't even get a hold of them on the phone. Forget about it. Or you're talking to somebody on the phone that's a salesperson. You know, at that point, it's like, well, do they really have your best interests at hand if they're really just trying to upsell?
Oh,
are they getting commissions on the communications?
That's a question I do have. When you talk to the wellness provider,
Mm-hmm.
they also recommended your things. Because you just made a point, John. I forgot about that. I forgot that with other companies, you're talking to 3 or 4 people. You're talking like to the person you have to, so the company can run, you know, and then the next person is the salesperson.
To some people. You have no
Yeah, but
idea.
it's like the second one is with the car salesman. The second one is, hey, what you need, my friend, is you need the list from A to Z, all these things here.
Yeah.
And it's
latest
like,
and greatest.
why am I talking to you?
It's like
that's a great point, though. It's I'm glad that doesn't happen. And again, you guys, as we are doing this show, take down right here. You can see, you can touch base with Titan Medical and then give a call over there and set up. You're getting your blood work done. Also, if you guys are in Florida, I am 14 days away from coming on over there. So we will be there. We'll be getting some workouts in, training there over at Powerhouses, eating and enjoying some time with the family, but also getting a lot of stuff and the unveiling of how Titan Medical has helped me continue to optimize my health, and get, besides blood work done, we're going to be doing videos and stuff showing this. Again, I call it my art piece, and how Titan Medical has helped me. And I'll go over all the details with Johnny in person about what peptides and everything that they put me on to help me continue to live the path that I'm living.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go over all that. 14 days. I
can't wait. I'm excited. Super excited. Always excited to have you in town, man. Always excited. We're gonna get to capture some really cool content. You know, it's gonna be great. I can't wait, man.
For anybody that's here that doesn't speak the language, we will have this up over on YouTube, and it will have the subtitles below, so it will slow down for you guys a bit, so you can watch it again at that time. All right, just FYI. Back to you as you hire and work with these individuals, your wellness providers. How does that work? How do you go through the process of finding somebody? Because I know, again, it goes back to, I'm assuming, even though they're the wellness provider and they're the ones that are talking about health and stuff, there has to be some kind of, I'm guessing, your beliefs at Titan Medical. What is that? Tell us a little bit about that if you can.
Yeah, no problems. You know, to be a provider, we've got a ton of providers that, you know, that apply every year or every week. I should say we get a ton of them. Nurse practitioners, doctors, and stuff like that. Well, you know, it's not every doctor is up to par, I guess, and standard. Their beliefs and aligned. You know, with their lifestyles like too as well, right? Because it's hard for me in general to go in and see a doctor and have him tell me I need to be healthy when they are smoking outside. They look really unorganized, unfit, and might not have the information that I'm really seeking, right? So for us, I mean, it's a collaborative thing. Like, we want to look at a provider and be like, all right, cool. Like, you know, do you work out? Do you have any knowledge of these things? And not to say a provider has to be a gym rat or anything like that, but they have to have some sort of exercise, whether they're playing tennis, they're jogging, whatever it is. In nutrition, doctors don't go to med school and get nutrition information, right? They don't get educated in nutrition. They don't get educated in supplements. They don't get educated in hormones. So it's a whole reteach to a provider. I don't care if a provider's been around for 20 years and they worked in ER for 20 years. Yeah, you know how to put an IV in possibly, but you have no idea of the conversion of testosterone to estrogen to DHT to all these different things. So at that point, like, we're going to have to invest a lot of time and effort into the provider to be able to teach them. So for us, I mean, listen, the background skills. Now, listen, if they've had some sort of background skills and maybe weight loss or stuff like that, maybe bariatrics or such, they might be a good fit. But some people, like our providers, like Chenille. Chenille's our number one nurse practitioner. She's been with the company for 6 years. When she first came in, and we have a lot of signature therapies like Hercules Potion, Titan Serenity, and these aren't like testosterone, right? That's like everybody knows about testosterone. But she came in and she knew every single therapy and every single ingredient in that therapy right off the bat. I mean, it was the most impressive thing, and that's the only reason I ever bring it up. And I bring it up to every provider that I ever hire, because I've never, ever had a provider come in the door the first day and know every single therapy that we did off the website. Never. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and say I would be able to do that right off the bat. I mean, I've learned mine progressively. I knew everything beforehand when we came in, but as we've added things on, I've had to educate myself. We've had to educate providers. We have to educate the medical staff here. So at that point, it's something that we really have to look in depth to. Like, are they going to fit in with the team too as well? Because, you have some people out there that they just don't mix well with others, right? So at that point, we have to find somebody that's going to jive. So, I mean, providers for us, it doesn't have to be male or female. That's the other thing across the board. Just because it's a male doesn't know they know more hormones than a female does, and vice versa. Can they relate a little bit better maybe to that sex? Maybe. But at that point, that really doesn't come down to it. So it's got to be somebody that really wants to learn still. So we like to hire maybe a little bit younger person, so somebody that's a little bit younger that is really thriving on education. They want to educate themselves. They want to make sure that they know everything that's right for the patient. And they have great bedside manner. So at that point, like, some doctors come in and they're very blunt, 5 minutes and you're in and out. And you're like, man, like, wow, that guy was kind of brutal there, like kind of rough, like, and if they don't have good bedside manner, if they have good bedside manner, the patient is more receptive, right? And they appreciate that because they normally aren't used to something like that. The whole reason we opened Titan was because, she used to be in the medical field at that point for almost 10 years or plus. She would see how these doctors would come and interact with patients, and she would get the patient's feedback afterwards saying, well, what do I do with this? I had more questions and I don't know. And so at that point, like, we want to be able to have a provider, whether it was a doctor or a nurse practitioner, be able to really be receptive to the patient and be nice, right? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you're talking to somebody that's paying out of pocket, right? And they want the service, they want the care. And I think that's the biggest thing. So bedside manner. So you kind of get the feel for somebody in an interview. So when we interview somebody like that, they might be real dry or not to the point, and we'll catch a feel. So I mean, if we feel good as far as when we interview them, we'll let the nurse practitioners then do a working interview with the nurse practitioners, and then they'll get a feel for, can they catch on quick? Are they going to be right for patients? What's their intent, right? What's their motivation to be here? Is it to help people? Or is it to get a paycheck? And if it's just to get a paycheck, this is the wrong place for you at Titan Medical Center. If you want to help people, this is the right place for you at Titan Medical Center, because we want to help every single patient, not one. And they're not numbers. That was the other thing. Doctors' offices, stuff like that, they have to turn and burn. If you take insurance, you're not getting reimbursed like you should, and you have to turn and burn these patients to even make a nut. I totally understand that part, and that's why we never went with the insurance model. Could we get more patients with insurance models? Possibly, right? But at that point, like, it's just not worth it to us. So, those were the big things, I guess, right? Bedside manner, wanting to help people, and being able to educate themselves and receive education from the providers. Because once they come in, they're getting hard crash course, and they're getting looked at by 2 different providers at the exact same time on what they're doing. And some providers don't like that. They don't like to be micromanaged. They don't think they need to learn some of these different things. and those just aren't the right ones. So we'll weed them out real quick if they're not supposed to be here. But usually during the working interview, we'll see how a provider is going to interact with the patient, one, and be able to receive the information and apply it forward. And you'll see their bedside manner when they talk to somebody right away. You know, are they nice about it or are they not? You know, and just it is what it is. But usually right off the bat, we'll get somebody that's, you know, fairly educated in medical, obviously, but at that point, being able to receive Titan Medical Center's information and apply it forward.
Something I think for both of us, ironically, so many things work this way. I know that you're under the weather. Is that okay to say a little bit?
Sure,
Still,
absolutely.
but I mean, the reason why I say that is because I think I don't think the society sees Johnny have an off day. Doesn't see Mike is sick. And
right.
So, what did you do? Because I think this is a great insight for everybody out there. Because they ask me, "Hey, do you train when you're sick? What do you do when you're sick? How do you get over it? What kind of things?" And so, I'm so curious to find out, what do you do? What did you do as you're going through this?
Sure. So, I mean, there are no days off with me, no matter what, even if I'm dead sick in bed, right? But I got to start doing the right things. I got to prioritize, you know, make sure I'm healthy, because without me being healthy, I can't do anything. And this is what I preach to everybody out there. You have to have your health to get out of bed, to go to work, to be with your girlfriend, do your hobbies, job, whatever it is. You know, for me, I guess, you know, sometimes prioritizing rest. So there was one day where I did sleep, you know, 6-7 hours during the day, which that is not a norm for me at all. So that's when you know, like, John's really sick, and I never get sick like this. So it was definitely a surprise to me. I'm like, I have a really good immune system usually. Like when Sharice or Peter or anybody gets sick, like if I get it, I'm usually at 1 or 2 days and I'm done. But for me, obviously the Tri-Immune was a big thing for me. Glutathione, vitamin C, zinc, injectable on one. I was injecting that every day. The other thing was thymosin alpha-1. I was injecting that too.
Can you explain? I know you're saying what they are. Can you explain a little bit about each of those?
Sure. So the Tri-Immune has 3 different components in it. It has glutathione, which is a super antioxidant that's produced in the liver. And at that point, it helps with a number of different things. With one, oxidative stress. It helps boost the immune system and fortify the immune system. It'll help with if you have congestion or allergies, game changer for that. So it will help. Vitamin C, obviously another antioxidant, right? And it goes right along with everybody else. So, you know, a lot of people get their vitamin C, and another good way to get it would be through oranges if you eat oranges. But for me, what I did was I tried to double up on things. So I was eating oranges and pineapple, and I was injecting, you know, the Tri-Immune. So the third part of it was zinc. Zinc's an essential mineral. It's good for fortifying the immune system too, as well, and helping build up the immune functions. So those 3 things are in one injectable. So that is one therapy that I took. Thymosin alpha-1 comes from the thymus, and at that point, what that does is that helps regulate T cells. And there's 2 types of T cells that are in the body. There's killer cells and helper cells. So what happens is if you have a virus, like I have flu B. Okay, I had it tested, swabbed, and that's what it came up positive for.
You couldn't even get an A out of that, huh?
No, they have flu A and flu B, and they said flu A is worse. So I'm like, man, I'm blessed to not get flu A, because man, I haven't had. I'm telling you, I haven't been sick like this in a long time. I can't even tell you.
You're gonna get sick, Johnny. Will you please get sick? I mean, come on.
I know, right?
Go all the way with this.
I'm so upset. Like I even left for the couple of days. It wasn't worth losing this much time of work and effort and everything that was going on. So, you know, at that point, it is what it is. But you know, with thymosin alpha-1, this is great with the killer cells and helper cells. So the killer cells, what they do is they hunt down the bad cells in the body, and they go attack those bad cells. And what they do is they kill them. Basically, that's what they're called, killer cells. They knock it out, and then the helper cells come along and they revitalize that cell. So it's great for immune function. It's great for the cells as far as T cells. And T cells regulate everything, even when the other virus is going around, right? This was the big one for that. So those are the 2 main ones that I took. And I didn't come off any of my other therapies as well. So, you know, I'm still taking my blood pressure medication, my lisinopril, 10 milligrams. I'm still taking my enclomiphene to go around with my testosterone replacement. my Nastrazol, my hair health capsules. Nothing changed regimen wise. That's the big thing. I think a lot of people think that because I'm sick, I'm not going to take my therapies. And that's the wrong thing to do. Because like, even if you're on testosterone, people think some patients are like, oh, I'm on testosterone. If I'm not in the gym working out and I'm sick at home, I'm not going to take my testosterone. Well, that could work against you too as well. I mean, you're going to put your body through shock to a certain extent of, listen, it's used to you being so regimented and taking these medications and therapies, and then all of a sudden off the board. I'm trying to think of the other things I would do. I mean, those are the big things that I would do. The other thing I was doing was
before you keep going. Now, this is what you did when you were sick, but like you said, a lot of the primary peptides and stuff, T and all that, and clomiphene, you did not stop. You stayed on that, and then you added in a somewhat, you would call it, let's just today call it a sick protocol, just to really knock out whatever's in there. Could you do a smaller portion of that consistently
every day
or periodically, so you don't get sick?
Absolutely. I mean, Thymosin Alpha 1 you can take daily. It's a little subcutaneous injection, 15 to 20 units per day. It's nothing crazy. So that's just something very easy and simple to add into the regimen. The Triimmune, I usually take glutathione every day or every other day anyway. But yes, you could take a little bit of this and definitely help boost or fortify the immune system even more. So if you start going around sick people and stuff like that, and like I said, we go to a ton of different expos or airports or just around a lot of people all the time. People want to come up, they want to shake hands, they want to get close. And at that point, usually I don't have no issues with that. And that's probably the reason why. I mean, but at that point, this one got me. And I just, like I said, it came kind of out of left field. And when I got back, I wasn't feeling bad. And then Monday, it just, boom, hit me last week. So
I hope this helps you guys. I think this is going to help a lot of people out there, because I know that a lot of people want to build up their immune system so they don't get sick. So this is a great point of it. And this is also the guy that's his Titan Medical's his baby. That's his baby. So he can do this and he can do these to optimize his body through this illness. But I think what's great too for me is my immune system is broken by the time I am off to an appearance or an event because of my nutrition and dieting. Understand the reason why it's broken, everybody, is yes, bodybuilders look visually amazing on stage, but that's an illusion. Inside, they're not, because of the dieting, the training, the lack of sleep, and so on and so forth. So your immune system is broken down a little bit. And so this is a great insight for me that when I do the Olympia later this year, is maybe I go into a Terminator type of protocol prior to the Olympia. That way I go into it feeling very healthy, but my immune system is functioning at a high level to keep me from not getting sick. I think this is a great idea for me. So I don't know if that helps you guys out there, but it seems like it's a good one. Take it from there, Johnny. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. I 100%. If you think that you've got some big event that's coming up where you're going to be around a lot of people, because you can't always pick out who's sick and who's not, right? You just don't know everybody. And some people, they're not considerate enough to not be around people. And at that point, like, you just got to prepare yourself. And at that, even in Olympia last year, I don't know how many people came up, hugs, kisses, Mike shaking hands. I mean, how many people you think we think? Thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and walked away with that. Thank God, with nothing afterwards, right? So, even at the Arnold and the whole nine. I mean, it is what it is. But yes, going into it, being prepared, knowing that you're going to be around all these people, and you might be in close contact with people that might have some sort of sickness. It's always better to fortify that armor on the outside, right? And make sure you have some sort of shield up. I mean, even during those years, 2020, 2023, when, this virus was going around, I don't know how many healthcare workers that we had as patients that were taking a number of our different therapies that thanked us because they never caught anything. And I'm like, man, that's awesome. Not to say that's going to block everything. You're not going to get sick, but most people usually don't if they fortify their immune system properly. And a lot of people have autoimmune disease now too. There's the biggest number, I think, of people and kids that have autoimmune disease nowadays. So it's really essential for you to understand your immune system and give it to what the best possibly things you can do to it to feel better, I guess, or not get sick. So yeah, I'm definitely gracious and grateful for the different therapies that I have, for sure, 100%.
And I know Mona's pointed out to me after the Arnold, I didn't get sick. And I normally do get a little sick after, and it was interesting because I'm doing the glutathione, and I came out of that dieted extremely down and still fine, and it didn't occur to me, which is it's like, wow, I took that for granted. It's like, wow, I was protected. I went in and armor held up, and we did that. Here's a great question though. So again, we were just kind of covering over. Johnny was under the weather, and what his protocol was to come back from that as quick as possible. And then I joined Johnny in the sense of trying to take it easy over the weekend, and I upped my calories for a couple days to finish out this next 2 weeks of dieting.
Yes.
And it's simple stuff really helps you. And for me, just not training and eating higher calories got me to recover enough to move forward. Again, not stopping any of the protocol that Titan Medical has me on. So continue forward, continue taking what you're supposed to take after talking to your wellness provider. And we started the whole conversation today out with Jeffrey having an amazing conversation. But what I took away from it was the difference between what Titan Medical talks about and how they work with you to try to make you actually better instead of just trying to make a buck like a lot of these companies that just popped up during the lockdown. And it's an unfortunate thing, but for you guys out there, so make a phone call over there today or right now, get your blood work done, talk to the provider. You don't need blood work with peptides, but my recommendation is, why wouldn't you want to know what's going on inside?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even if you're sick, that's a good indicator if you get blood work done. I mean, if white blood cell count is high, then there's possible infection inside the body. You don't know that right away. If it's a virus and stuff like that, you can get these at-home tests. I got one from Pfizer. Actually created an at-home test. It's called Lucria. And I bought these the other day, and they're like $30 a pop. So they're kind of a little expensive, but they're by Pfizer, and they test for COVID, flu A, and flu B all on the exact same test, one swab. So it was really cool to be able to do this at home, not having to go to primary care, not have to go to anywhere else, and be able to test yourself and see, hey, listen, where do I stand with this?
Well, here's a great question there for you. Can you see that?
Yes, sir. Is there something you can do for cognitive decline as we age? Absolutely. NAD is going to be one of your biggest ones out there, guys. NAD works on the cellular level. It helps repair damaged cells inside the body. This is something that can help you, one, increase cognitive function. Make sure you're not declining, because that's what happens. We start withering, we start dying, everything starts breaking down the body. So at that point with this, I mean, it's a game changer if you're looking for cognitive incline instead of decline, for sure, 100%.
Let's keep doing that. I like the questions we're getting here, folks, but I have Mona here that wants to step in and have a couple questions with you, Big Johnny.
Sure.
Hi, Johnny.
She's taking advantage. We take advantage of having John on as well, not just for myself, but also for Mona. 1 second here.
Yeah, I want to jump in because we want to make sure that we don't forget about the ladies.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much covering everything, and I've noticed a huge difference on myself after using some of the, obviously, Titan Medical peptides. So I have not gotten sick at all throughout this whole season. And I don't get sick that easy, but I felt, last year, like my body has been changing and with everything going on. So I've been doing the Triimmune, which is absolutely amazing. I did the glutathione. The NAD keeps me focused on what I have to do. Yeah. And then, believe it or not, John, as I'm getting older, I feel like I have to do
Mhm.
cardio. I've never done cardio, really. Like
Oh,
literally, even when I competed, like
yep.
I just tweaked my diet. And then right before the competition, I jumped on for a little bit on some cardio sessions. Like people, they're out there on Facebook and know me from like years back. They know like my body was just on point. So as I'm getting older and I'm approaching 50, I
Hmm.
jumped on that AOD. And I
Hmm.
have to say that I did see some quicker results, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I feel like I'm cheating a little bit. But if you are able to get the results that you need, with a little bit of help here and there, I think that
sure,
that's probably the best thing. So
absolutely.
my question is to you here, now that I'm yapping my mouth away. Um, I've done my blood work sometime, I believe, months back. I believe it was uh, November. So,
Hmm.
when do you suggest? How often should I do my blood work so I could
Every
see
three to
if
six
everything
months.
works?
We
Three to
definitely want to do
six
it
months.
every 3 to 6 months at least,
Okay.
right? We want to make sure that listen, whatever we want to make sure everything has not changed, or if it's changed for the better, or
Mhm.
changed for the worse. We can see these things and these trends. If you wait longer than 6 months, I wouldn't recommend it. I would say every 3 to 6 months for anybody out there. And then if
So,
there's like a big problem within one blood work, that might be tested 30 or 60 days after that, just to to
right.
follow up to make sure the problem has subsided or we're on the right track per se.
All right. So, if, like, for example, if I jumped on an AOD, how quick should I see some results from there? People are confused. They're like, "Am I seeing anything?" Um,
Sure.
Maybe they're like confused. So, how long? Like how many weeks do they have to be on it? 4 weeks, 6 weeks to
I mean,
actually
I would
see
say
some
30 to
results
60
to feel
days.
the
Usually they're going to start seeing results.
Okay.
30 to 60 days,
So
you're going to see results. Within 90 days, you definitely see results. 90 days is
Yeah.
usually a really good uh,
I agree with you.
landmark, I
90
guess,
days
as far as that goes.
even for diets, right?
No,
No,
I think if the person knows their body, I noticed it in the first week,
you
You
did.
but
will.
I'm so
You will.
sensitive to my view. I added AOD uh, to my protocol recommended by Johnny as I'm
Yep.
dicing down. And that following week on AOD, I was like, wow. I almost it visually felt like the 20-year-old Mike O'Hearn, where it's we all know this. You're eating pizza and you're still in shape. But it was like that
Yep.
mentality. It was like,
Which is
wow, this
great. It's a
week's
good feeling.
work really paid dividends. And it was because I added a peptide like AOD to the protocol. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Um,
So we got
Yes.
to, but that's my take. Obviously, I'm leaner. I
well,
know my
yeah.
body,
Can I
but for you
say
guys
not?
outside,
No,
AOD is a go.
not everybody's like you. This guy's crazy with his body. He eats an egg and he sees the difference.
He's
It's
he's
crazy.
he's on point, man. That's what happens. If you're so on point like that, right? The littlest minute change, you will see a difference. I mean,
Exactly.
one thing added, one thing taken away. I mean, you'll definitely see a bigger difference like that. If you're somebody
Yeah.
that's not on track, like, and you're not as consistent as you should be, you might not see the changes fast. But usually people see change within 30 or 60 days on AOD. And that's Charisse per se, who really doesn't work out that much. She's got a decent diet, but not the best diet in the world, I'll be honest. But she sees changes and stuff like that. So if she can see it and she's a believer, then at that point, like I would bet the money on the house. Let's put it that way,
Yeah.
that it's going to work very well for across the board. And it's works very well for so many different patients in so many different ways. Even people that don't like the injection, they can take the oral. The sublingual works. It might not work as good as the injectable, in my opinion, but it still works pretty well for patients where they're like, listen, I seen a really good effect and good result from this, and they keep ordering it. Patients are going to keep ordering products or therapies if they don't see any result, they don't feel any different. They're just not going to do it. They're like, I'm not going to waste my money on this another month because I'm just not seeing the change or difference. And some people might need a different therapy, right? Where if a patient needs to lose like 30 or 40 pounds, 50
Right.
pounds, then AOD might not be the right one for them. It might not be able to get the adjustment they want or the instant gratification they want as fast. And that's where we line up a different regimen. And we're all right, listen, well, this is going to work better for that. It really is It really just comes down to the patient, per patient, what the regimen it is. Your regimen is different than Mike's regimen. That's different than my regimen. That's different from Sharice's regimen, and across the board. There's some things that, you can line up mass regimens and they're going to work no
Yeah.
matter what. But at that point, it's always better to have a personalized regimen to work for what's going on with inside your body. Like Sharice, like she can't take some of these different medications because she has PCOS, she has endometriosis. So at this
Right.
point, like GHRHs like testosterone, which works phenomenal, is not going to be good for her, right? Because it's going to flare up some of these different things and give her different problems in different areas. So that's really where it comes down to your health history, your family health history, and kind of what the goal is, what we're trying to achieve.
So just to clarify, if somebody is like really overweight, like let's say 400 pounds and is 5'8",
Yep.
Don't take AOD and eat potato chips and sit on your couch because you're not going to lose the weight. Just keep that in
That's
mind,
not going to
guys.
work out the best.
Okay?
You'll lose some weight, but you're not going to lose a
Yes.
dramatic weight that you need.
You said
Yeah.
two things, and I don't want to run over. You good?
Yeah,
Yeah, I jump back.
please do.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't forget.
Bye, Mona. It's great seeing you.
Bye.
You said two things, and I think my team was here going, have Johnny talk about this. Previous, if you weren't here at the beginning of this talk, I recommended a company for people to go do blood work at, and I really got discouraged and stuff when a young 28-year-old who performs on stage singing for 3-4 hours these concerts came back with a list of $10,000 a month, and I'm like, that makes no sense to me. That's a company trying to make money, and so that threw me. But you said something here going, my protocol wouldn't be Mona's wouldn't be mine. We're two different people. And that was another thing that I noticed, that I was talking to some more people I sent to this previous place. And the one man is I'm talking built different. The dude can crush me, and he's just a monster of a human. Now, vice versa, his wife is not in great shape, does not train, is a complete pinnacle opposite. Same protocol was given to them.
That's crazy. That's just crazy. How do you,
I mean,
it's back that up?
It's like, wow, you really slipped up here. Just like, wow, how do you can't back that up? It's just two different worlds. A man that's a meta god and a woman that's out of shape. It's like, no, you both take the same stuff. Here you go. Have a good day. Give us $10,000 a month. Wow.
That's like a nutritionist giving the exact same food plan to everybody across the board. This is going to work for everybody.
It's the same thing for everybody. Everybody's the same. Absolutely not in any world. And so I just kind of want to make that point of view. And I love, again, the trust that I have with Titan Medical, that I'm not worried about sending anybody over there. I know you're going to get in good hands, taken care of correctly. Shoot, I always write these things down because I definitely don't want to forget. Got to up my NAD.
Sure.
But it was the list that you said is different for everybody. Make sure that you go over there and see it, and then have those questions with your provider on what you can and can't do, and then also just prioritize what you want most. Right. You know, if you want to drop weight, make that your priority for right now. You can always change it. This is what I want to say. If you're intelligent enough to know and see something that your body's changing, like I was on the one aspect on AOD, but again, I wasn't smart enough, and I'm not intelligent enough to realize that I went to these expos with a somewhat broken down immune system because of diet and training. And I walked away healthy, and it had to be pointed out to me going, you know, the glutathione's working for you. And me going, oh, light dawns on marble head. Oh, I didn't even think about it. I didn't think it was doing anything for me.
Yeah.
And so be careful about you trying to judge yourself on doing these things. Have your people around you, those ones that love you, going, no, you are dropping weight. Or you're not dropping weight. And again, all those little aspects. I'm sorry I had to throw that in there just because
it's great.
I didn't realize that the glutathione is helping me and keeping me healthy. I haven't been sick, and I haven't gone to these expos, which I normally always get sick afterwards because of the extreme. And so it's like, congratulations to me waking up and having somebody in my corner going, keep the glutathione in, even though you don't feel it. It is keeping you protected. And I think that's another one about the TB 500 and the joint connective peptides that are available that I say prioritize. That's my number one. That's keeping the joints healthy is number one. And so I don't want to lose time here with this, but Johnny, what is this week's protocol? What is the, as you call it,
therapy of the week?
Therapy of the week. What do we have?
All right. So this one's actually, it's actually 3 therapies because this week is the Titan trifecta. So Titan trifecta, it consists of 3 different therapies that you get that all work together synergistically, or if you just want to take one by themselves, works great for a result as it is. So the 3 are Hercules Potion, Titan Complete, and our ECA Stack Plus. So let's go over these 3 amazing therapies that have no hormones in them whatsoever. They're going to benefit you in so many different ways and get you so many great results. Hercules Potion by itself has 9 different ingredients: glutamine, arginine, ornithine, lysine, L-citrulline, proline, taurine, NAC, and L-carnitine. So when we talk about this, and glutamine is one we talked about, previous couple days ago or whatever it was on the supplement lines, right? So glutamine is great for recovery. It's in a number of different supplements out there. It's going to help recover the body. You're working out real hard, it's going to be there for you. It's something that you don't get instant gratification of. When you inject glutamine or take it orally, you don't see an effect right away. But if you are getting recovered faster, not as sore, this is where you really see the glutamine really working. Arginine and L-citrulline. These are something that you're going to get instant gratification of right away, every injection right off the bat. These are both precursor to nitric oxide, vasodilators. So what they're going to do is they're going to increase blood flow to all throughout the body. They're going to increase that pump. They're going to increase vascularity. I don't care if you might do 2 sets after doing Hercules Potion. It's going to feel like you did like 6. And you'll just stay pumped for about 4 to 6 hours afterwards in those areas. You can inject this directly into the muscle you want to work out that day, or you can inject it and it's going to work synergistically throughout the body. After that, you have ornithine. Ornithine is an anti-fatigue amino acid. This is going to help you do more strenuous activity, whatever it is, whether it's running a marathon, whether it's training harder in the gym and doing more sets or more reps. You're walking around Disney World or Universal all day. You're going to be able to get to that really easy. If you're having, intercourse with your partner, hopefully you go a little bit longer there too as well. And the blood flow is going to help you with the extremities too. After that, you have taurine. It's great for brain function. It's great for cramping. You have proline, which is a collagen-based amino acid. We talk about this all the time, creating that more collagen in the body, helping out there. And then you have L-carnitine. L-carnitine's a number of different things too. We're talking about helping build muscle, blood flow, nervous system, all those good things. So, you're getting a lot of good things there. NAC's in it. So N-acetylcysteine. So N-acetylcysteine and glutathione, it's a precursor.
Say that 5 times fast. Holy
right?
cow.
And it's great for liver functions, right? So you're supporting the liver because the liver is a filter through the body. Everything that you put in orally is going to go through liver too as well and going to get processed. A lot of people have fatty livers either because of their diet or I don't know why. I mean, they just do. Usually it's because of diet of why. Or if they're taking a lot of acetaminophen or they're drinking a lot of alcohol, this is going to help along with that. You want your liver to be at the top-notch thing as far as running optimally, so you're processing fats faster through there too as well. So that's one component of the Titan trifecta. Now we're going to get into the second component. The second therapy
before you jump, this is also a good mixture to take with your PT 141, correct?
Sure.
If you want to mix those two, those are something for anybody out there that wants to be a savage in the bedroom.
you want blood flow. I mean, listen, PT 141 by itself is going to create amazing effects. You know,
But this is
you
a
add
good
in-
addition to it, right?
If you add this into there,
Yeah.
yes, you're
Yeah.
gonna be true champion, Titan style.
Right.
I promise you. I
Mhm.
promise. With those two, especially, you have libido effect, and then you'll have the blood flow for the extremities down low, whether you're a male or female. So if you're a male, you're going to get more erection power. If you're a female, you're going to get more sensitivity to the lower extremities, and that always helps.
Okay, I just wanted to add that in there. Keep going.
Sure. So we can talk about our second one: ECA Stack Plus, ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium. We have different dosages for these different things. Real ephedrine HCl. So it's not ephedrine bark or extract or anything like that. It's real ephedrine HCl. So ephedrine is going to help with fat burning. It's going to create an euphoric effect too with mental clarity. And then you have caffeine that backs up. And we're not talking about super high doses of caffeine either. We're talking about 200 milligrams of caffeine, or we have lower doses. So at that point, you know, when people are taking pre-workouts out there, they might be taking 300 or 400 milligrams per serving and taking maybe 2 or 3 servings of these things. You won't need it anymore. If you take ECA Stack Plus or Hercules Potion, you're going to get the best effect in the gym. And I don't want to call it a pre-workout because it gets that stigmatism, but it would be the best pre-workout scenario that you're going to be able to put together that's going to give you everything you want, from stimulant effect, which is not going to make a crazy stimulant effect where you're bouncing off the walls on the inside, or you got to go to the bathroom inside the gym. And you're going to get all the pump factor, the more strenuous activity factor. I mean, these are going to go great. Great for weight loss too, as well. So the third component would be, and that's a capsule. The third component would be Titan Complete. That's another injection. You're talking about your branched chain amino acids, your full B complex, B12, MIC, methionine, inositol, and choline are the three that consist of MIC. And then you also have L-carnitine there too as well to add for a little bit more benefit. So B vitamins, obviously, are going to create so much different effect throughout the body for the nervous system, for energy, hair, skin, nails. I mean, B12 added on there too as well. We know about that. And then MIC. So MIC, methionine, inositol, and choline are other things that are going to help the liver process fats faster to the liver too as well and aid in weight loss effect. So you've really got 3 awesome therapies. One by themselves is great. Working all 3 together, a tremendous effect and a better result across the board in so many different lights. And that's the Titan Trifecta.
There we go, guys. That's something you guys can call up Titan Medical right now. And those are peptides, so you don't need the blood work with those. But my recommendation again always is check your blood. And Johnny's really nice about this. He does the 3 to 6 months. I'm much more frequent for myself only at this stage because I'm really trying to take a understanding of what changes on blood work when you add peptides to it. Sure. What changes when you train, what changes when you train extreme. And so all those kind of things go into it. And he talks about one, again, going back to the ephedrine and that energy and stuff is like, how does that change? And for me right now, that was one of the biggest game changers besides the AOD. And again, it's a capsule and you want to talk about energy all day and clear and the ability to push through. Whew, that's the go-to. I do, for you guys out there that are sensitive to stimulants, I am going to continue to try to see if I can't get Mona on a very minute dose of the collection.
Yes.
Because of the fact that she is go and does not have the luxury to nap, sleep, all the things that we take for granted. Because our little boy just turned 5, but we still treat him like that infant of feeding food through the nights and so on and so forth. So I know she's getting hit by both ends, but yeah, that's something, Johnny, I'll talk to you about personally after this and see about that. But for you guys to be able to talk to Johnny or one of his staff members, you got to make the phone call. You got to make the phone call because I know that everybody's very
text
shy.
Message, guys.
Text them. There we go. Can they do
call
that?
Text.
Can they get a response?
Absolutely. So best thing for us guys, call, text, email. You're going to get a response anyway from a real live person. There's no mass text messaging. There's no bots. There's no nothing. When you text in, that person texting you back is a real person that's going to be able to answer your questions. And for the ECAs, we make 3 different doses for people out there that have sensitivity to stimulants. So if you are very sensitive to stimulants and you're like, oh man, if I drink a Red Bull and bounce off the walls, we have something that's lower. Sharice is she has a very, very high sensitivity to stimulants. And at that point, she has a lower dose. So, we have something for everybody in that ball game that's going to help and make sure that you're not going to be overstimulated.
And here's one final question for you right there.
Sure. Any specific enhancer you would recommend for a beginning bodybuilder? Wow. Okay. There's so many, man. If you didn't want to go any, Hercules Potion would be a great one right off the bat. You could use MK677. It really depends on what you're trying to do. If you're really trying to gain lean mass and build up, MK might be a good one for you. Testosterone might be a good one for you. You're talking about GHRH and lowering belly fat too as well, raising IGF-1 levels. This could be good. There's so many across the board of what I really recommend for somebody that's a beginning bodybuilder. They'd have to give me a little bit more information about themselves. You're older, you're younger. Because if you say, listen, I'm 40 years old and I'm a beginning bodybuilder, then at that point I'm like, listen, we need to get some blood work checked and let's see where everything lies first.
Wouldn't that be the go here too, right?
Obviously,
I get that. Just because you're starting this journey doesn't mean that we know what's going on in your age with anything else. Right. And also you've been a person for a little while here. So what's going on with the blood work? And again, yeah, right. It's like, hey, I'm a beginning bodybuilder. Great. You're not a beginning person. So Are you over the age of, I think it's over 18, over 20?
Yeah. If you're over 21, let's get it checked out and looked at.
Yeah.
If you're 18 years old, and not to say that 18-year-olds aren't messed up, because there are a lot of 18-year-olds that are messed up, whether they mess with SARMs or they have really bad genetics or something's went on traumatically. So everybody's different. That's why I can't buy this is going to be for everybody. This is, if you were going to be a beginning bodybuilder, this is exactly what I would take. There's no way I could sit there and tell you that.
You just hit it out of the park. If you are under 21, why don't you talk to your parents and see if you can't see your family doctor and do some blood work to see what's going on there, because I know tons out here. I'm at Gold's Venice, which is still a mecca of bodybuilding, and I get the youngsters coming in here. And to me, everybody's young, but I'm getting these teenagers that come in there and they've already destroyed their bodies, and it just crushes my soul. Going, man, you have so much life, hopefully, to live. And you've already destroyed your body. How can we rectify that now while you're young? Because that's another good point. It's like, and we'll do that on next week's show. We'll kind of go over all that. It takes some months to rectify and fix your body. So let's get started on that process.
Yeah, there's players on Peter's baseball team that are talking about they're taking trend. These kids are 15 and 16 years old. Mm-hmm. Like. I tell Peter, I'm like, listen, this is, they joke around about and all. I'm like, dude, this is wrecking them right now. It's wrecking them. They're not even fully developed yet. Play your genetic card as long. I don't care if it's the worst genetics you got in life. Play it to as long as you possibly can, and then start looking at different options if you need to. But at that point, just because you got the Trend twins or anybody out there, I'm not knocking them, because God bless. But if you got people out there that are promoting this type of thing for younger guys, and they think that this is the way, it's not the way. The younger guys, listening to the younger guys is probably not the best idea. If it was me, I'd be looking at the biggest, oldest guy, and then probably Mike or one of these people, and thinking about, what did you do? Because you're at this height still. You're not 20 years old. You're not 30 years old. No, you're at this height. And at that point, you probably did some good things along the way, and I want to do that. That's the game plan I want. That's the roadmap I want. I want to be able to go across the United States without problems, right? If I'm driving, instead of I'm going to get a short distance. Yeah, I might look good. It's like an electric vehicle. There's no chargers anywhere else past 300 miles. You went to 300 miles, great.
At the exact time
I just posted something. Some lady says, "Are you on steroids?" And I was going to say, go over and check my blood work. I have my blood work up on my stories
Oh,
today. So if you guys want to see the Mike O'Hearn blood work, head on over to IG right now. I got that up there. Take a look, screenshot that bad boy, and send that out to your friends. That being said, Johnny, man, you could
Can
see
we
why
answer
I
one
didn't
more?
take. Yeah, let's go. What do you got?
We got one more on here. This is a really good one. I am
Go.
42 and on TRT, and I don't feel like I'm getting the results. All right. First question here. Are you on a fully developed hormone replacement therapy program? Because when I see TRT, I automatically think of testosterone replacement therapy. All right, that's awesome. If you replace the testosterone that is missing or low or deficient, that's one aspect. But if you don't feel like you're getting the results, then we need to look at some different things. Are you taking an estrogen blocker, an aromatase inhibitor, because you possibly need one? Are you taking any add back therapy as far as for gonadal support? Because if you're not, and you start TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, your testosterone shoots up. You might start feeling good for a little bit. But then on the back end, if estrogen is real high, then you're not going to feel good. You're going to be like, man, I'm still tired. Like, why am I still tired? I shouldn't still feel fatigued. This is a couple different people I've talked to in the last week. And the other guy was in the shop. I was talking about Rocky Luciano, who says, I know Michael Hearn. And I'm like, you're on this. He's like, yeah, but I still don't feel good. And this is the reason why. What I would say is blood work and seeing what's going on and testing the right levels and then getting that corrected.
Yeah, I don't need to say anything here. This is Johnny's world. Me as a person, if you're doing something, then it goes back to what we said. Get your blood work done, and that should tell you what's going on, right? And then I'd make sure that you're with somebody that's actually trying to take care of you and not just selling you the kitchen, the sales pitch, car salesman. And that's a huge thing. Here's the truth. This is the sad reality of this. The sad reality is not every company has your best interests at hand. And the reason why we found a place with Titan Medical is because they actually coincide with exactly my beliefs on health. It is not about the most jack guy. It is nothing about that. It is about being able to move and be healthy and feel good and have a full life with your family. Because again, one of the biggest things that Johnny and me clicked on was it's family, health, and then whatever level of exercise you want to do, cool.
All right.
But we're not here to make a quota or anything. We're here to get you healthy.
Right.
And if you guys are out there and you're walking around going, I'm healthy, and you got the Titan Medical shirt on and stuff like that, I'm living the Titan lifestyle. That itself is payment in a great way for both Johnny and me and the companies. Absolutely. That we believe that it comes down to living this lifestyle. So I don't know. You can add to that, Johnny, if you'd like.
No, listen, you hit it right in the head. I mean, you're both on the same wavelengths as far as that goes. That, listen, you only have one life. You only have one body. You want to live the longest you possibly can and the best quality of life you possibly can. Because you know what? You got family. You got people that love you. You want to be around for them. You want to take care of them. You want to see all these great things and be healthy while you're doing it. So you can make memories that nobody else can take away from you. So that hit it right on the head. Vitality is the biggest thing that you could possibly want.
Next week, guys, we're going to be talking about, I'd like to talk about prostate again, going back into it. Cause there's obviously levels of this, and also just getting checked in there and white blood cells. We haven't dived into that. I know that there is something amazing about blood work outside of your testosterone level.
Right.
And I don't think people see that. And I think they just go, well, what's my T at? It's like, okay, hold on. What about what's going on with your body? What's going on with your blood? What's going on with your liver and kidneys? And so next week, we're going to really dive into that to make sure that we are actually not just healthy, but you youngsters need to make sure that you're healthy and you're not setting yourself up to fail by doing something you think the big guy at the gym is doing. And so it's okay for you to do it. That's not what this game is about.
Nope, definitely not.
That's it. That's it. Big Johnny, thank you so much. I'm going to give you
I
a call here
appreciate it,
after we
guys.
get off here.
Yes,
And
sir.
then I put in a huge order for PT 141 now that Mona's back. For you guys that don't know about PT 141, check it out.
Yes,
Get your
sir.
research in and see what's going to happen here. We'll talk
FDA
soon.
approved. Yes, sir. I'll see you soon. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks,
I
guys.
appreciate you guys.
Hey, thank you for hanging out, everybody here. I think we got to most of the questions. The biggest thing is Johnny is available to you guys, so you can give him a call. Like you said, text it or get a hold of him any way you feel you can or want to. Get the blood work done. Healthy is healthy. That's what we want to be. And like one guy said that he's already on something, and he doesn't feel like he's at that level. So what's going on there? Blood work explains so much when you get it. There's a lot of aha moments.
Yeah. This was a guy from last week that was taking care of his father and said he didn't have time to get blood work. And you made the point, well, how are you going to take care of your father? You can't. And so he went out and got his blood work. He's all good. He's healthy.
Nice job, man. That's yeah. Just somebody's on the outside looking in. It's always easier to have those discussions, but I'm glad you did that. All right, man. We'll talk to you all soon. I got to hit this workout again. We got 14 weeks out from the big shoot, so enjoy, keep going, keep pushing, and then for you Titan members, we'll get another check-in here coming up.